Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be in conversation with Shruthi Kannan, who heads Cisco Launchpad today as part of Unfold's leadership series to demystify entrepreneuring and entrepreneurship as a business imperative for organizations to invest and build as capabilities to sustain in these dynamic times. We are ending another historic year as part of the COVID era, defining our generation, battling to experiment, pivot, and build solutions for the future. Shruti is a business leader at Cisco Systems, where she orchestrates meaningful outcomes for startups in their scale-up journey through Cisco Launchpad. She works with deep tech startup founders on fine-tuning their business strategies, co-creating end-to-end digital solutions, and opening up joint go-to-market opportunities, as well as instrumenting follow on funding. As a member of the CII National Startup Council, as well as a Thai charter member, Shruti is a strong advocate for startups that play a critical role in accelerating and amplifying the goodness of digital transformation. A very, very warm welcome to you, Shruti, on behalf of Unfold for these leadership series and partnering with us since 2017. Cisco has been a great partner, helping us fuel this journey and helping us stay motivated in this direction. Considering your background and the work that you do with entrepreneurs and the whole entrepreneurial ecosystem, my first question to you is that what can entrepreneurs learn from entrepreneurs?
So intrapreneurs or entrepreneurs, they both are creators at heart. And it's the process of taking an idea to impact through innovation is what both of them go through. So entrepreneurs definitely, the one very big thing that they could learn from entrepreneurs is about how to break the glass ceilings in terms of the hurdles, the obstacles that may come in one's way in the journey from ideation to impact through innovation. So this process of breaking the glass ceilings through value creation. So I think that's one very important thing for entrepreneurs to learn from entrepreneurs. And it's a journey of establishing trust with multiple stakeholders, be it with respect to sponsors or investors or even other peers that they would be working with and co-creating these solutions. So the journey of navigating through multiple I would say hurdles and challenges and looking at them as opportunity is what I would look for entrepreneurs learning from entrepreneurs.
Well said. And I think entrepreneurs do have the cushion of a larger company, whereas entrepreneurs are doing it themselves. It's just really having that mindset, as you said, to break, the barrier, to be able to take risks and take their ideas to action. Cisco is a mature organization, and over a period of time, companies like Cisco and other larger organizations, how can they build a startup mindset? As organizations grow, of course, they become a lot more bureaucratic. Processes have to be defined, structures have to be built. But at the same time, looking at the fact that if you have to create this ecosystem within, how do you nurture, yet stay nimble, yet stay agile? How do you nurture this startup mindset?
In fact, I want to quote this study. This was done between Future Workplace and Upwork, which found that 90% of professionals actually considered entrepreneurship as someone who is seeing opportunities and pursuing them rather than just someone who starts a company. So we're seeing that the whole definition of entrepreneurs is getting redefined. It is no longer reserved just for the founder of a company. Though traditionally, we call the startup founder as an entrepreneur. So from a mature organization point of view, I think this is extremely key in terms of providing access to the knowledge spillovers. As we call it in the academic terms, knowledge spillovers are the additional ideas or opportunities that one comes in contact with in mature organization that could potentially fuel newer roadmaps, newer feature sets, newer solutions to address customer problems. So the number one thing is to be able to provide that access for creation of newer solutions for employees who are within the organization, the intrapreneurs. The second one is about providing the awareness about the resources available, because while access is one thing, giving more of a wider visibility for such they get onto this journey. More than successes, there may be several failures as well. So it's important to encourage the failures as well as much as the successes are being recommended on this journey. So the third important thing that I would call out is the aspiration building. Because you need people who've been there, done that, have set the path. It's not always that a trajectory is laid and we get to follow suit. But if we do have some exemplary examples of people who are giving wings to their aspirations and showing people that this could be done, I think that's extremely key. And this also requires top down and a bottom up approach with an organization, where the top down leadership is building that organizational culture across the organization, and the bottom up, the employees are kind of executing or getting into the groove of this creation mindset within the organization. So it works both ways to be able to generate value for the organization and in turn for the customers that we're building it for.
Sure. So my last question to you, Shruti, is that what are the benefits for organizations to invest in internal innovation and employee-led innovation? I mean, traditionally, you build innovation out as a function. Of course, you have R&D efforts, and entrepreneurship really is about, the fact that anybody can innovate. So what are some of the benefits that you see for organizations to invest in internal innovation?
So as I already mentioned, the access provision, the attention that you give, the awareness that is being built, as well as the aspiration, the 3-4 A's that I kind of called out are extremely key. If I just elaborate on that a little bit from an employee perspective, I think it brings in a sense of belonging. Because if I learn a new skill set and want to kind of give back to the company in those areas, and if I'm given an opportunity to create that, nothing is more fulfilling than that. You get your wow moments right in your desk, rather than finding avenues or different places to get those wow moments. And when you do hit those peaks, I think that's what really gives you the great Monday morning to come back to work every week. And this really is a great tool for the organizations as well, to make sure that their employees are charged up, to make sure that the the organization's roadmaps, the vision that the organization has, is also kind of aligned to employees' potential, and there is mutual balance between this and that. If not, we get into very many side effects like restructuring and things like that, which potentially could be avoided if we had a very strong entrepreneurship practice in place within large organizations. But I think overall, this on one hand increases the competitiveness of organizations, reducing the costs. These are like the key benefits which I see, that cohesion is built with all of the entities coming together in such entrepreneur centric practice.
Very well said, Shruti. And I think, especially in these times, and we're also talking about the great resignation. There seems to be so much conversation about that if you need to derive a sense of purpose, for the individual, where they need to feel that, as you mentioned, there's a sense of belonging, but a purpose-driven belonging. And, for organizations to also be able to deliver that purpose, entrepreneurship can really form that sort of a leverage or a tool for organizations to use to build that value creation, both for themselves as well as for the individual. So there's a lot of mutual value in building a culture of internal innovation. So thank you
It's
so much.
not always that we get the organization to drive an agenda and keep an employee engaged. So here it's the other way around, because the employee is now on the driver's seat and kind of charting out his or her expansion development plans, which is now a good incentive for the organization also, because they get to know what the employee also wants, rather than thinking that this is what would suit an employee's growth perspective. So I think that way it's a great tool for the organization to have an entrepreneurship framework, so that they are able to retain the best talent.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shruti. I think a lot of pearls of wisdom out there, and both for the individual and for the organization. Thank you so much for being part of our journey, for continuing to be part and supporting our journey. And we do believe that this next leap that we are taking will be successful with stakeholders like you. And we hope to hear a lot more from you as we move along. So thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Puja.